Welcome to Rugby Obsession. If you're anything like us and you're really into all the behind-the-scenes stuff in rugby, you've got to hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss a single one of our deep dives.
Right.
And speaking of deep dives, today we're unpacking a really interesting moment that came straight from the Rassie Plus podcast.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, we're talking about Springboks head coach Rassie Erasmus and the legendary Steven Kitshoff. And you know what? They were talking about this kind of crazy shift in captaincy plans, which I think is something that all rugby fans can appreciate, right?
Absolutely. It's these little glimpses behind the curtain that make the game so much more engaging for fans.
Exactly. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a bit of insider info, right?
Okay.
So let's get right into it. This whole thing really revolves around what Rassie said about a promise he made to Kitsy, that's Steven Kitshoff.
Okay.
And this was all about the captaincy for a Rugby World Cup warm-up match against Argentina. It was back in 2023 in Buenos Aires, so it was a pretty big deal, right?
Huge, especially right before a massive tournament like the World Cup. That's when every decision, every little detail gets magnified.
So true. And that's what makes this whole story so fascinating. Now, Rassie, being Rassie, was pretty direct about it. He apparently told Kitshoff, "Kitsy, if nothing changes, you're probably going to be Springbok captain next week." That's got to be a moment, right? Imagine hearing those words from your coach.
Wow, that's quite a vote of confidence.
Right. Talk about a boost. But here's the twist. Kitshoff didn't end up leading the team in that Argentina game. Nope. The captaincy went to Bongi Mbonambi.
Yeah.
So the big question is, why? What happened? What made Rassie change his mind?
Well, luckily, Kitshoff actually talked about this on the Rassie Plus podcast, which is great because we get it straight from the horse's mouth.
Right. Straight from the source.
So yeah, he confirmed that Rassie did say those words. Kitshoff remembered it being something like, listen, if everything goes to plan, no injuries, you're looking good after this weekend, you'll probably captain us against Argentina. So it wasn't just a rumor, it was the actual plan.
Okay, so Kitshoff was definitely lined up to be captain. What was the turning point then? What information changed Rassie's thinking and led to Bongi getting the captaincy instead?
It seems like a conversation with the medical staff was the key. Or maybe it was another coach. But the point is, someone pointed out that Kitshoff had been playing a lot of minutes, like back-to-back games.
Makes sense. Player welfare is so important, especially leading into a huge tournament like the World Cup. They don't want to burn anyone out before the main event.
Exactly.
It's that constant push and pull, right?
Yeah.
Preparing for the now, but also keeping the bigger picture in mind. So how does Rassie break the news to Kitshoff? I mean, that can't be an easy conversation.
Well, according to Kitshoff, Rassie said something like this. Listen, Kitsy, I think you're more important to us for New Zealand in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to keep you out of the squad this weekend. You're going to run water, run touch, carry all the messages, play a massive role in the game, but we're going to give Bongi the captaincy. So it wasn't like he was being benched completely. It was about managing his energy for the bigger battles ahead.
That's a great point. It shows that Rassie was really thinking strategically and prioritizing Kitshoff's long-term performance over a single game. And you know what? That's a sign of a good coach. What was Kitshoff's reaction to all this? Did he throw a tantrum?
Not at all. He took it like a champ. He said, I understood what my role was for that weekend, so I enjoyed Argentina. He even joked about having a bit more drinks on Wednesday with the steak and then focusing on his duties, carrying messages.
That's classic Kitshoff.
Yeah.
Always a team player. He's a true legend of the game. 83 test caps for South Africa, captaining the Stormers to that epic URC victory in 2022. His impact goes way beyond any one game.
No doubt. He's a leader on and off the field. And, this whole story just shows how complex things are at the top level of rugby.
Right. It's not just about picking the best players. It's about managing workloads, making tough decisions, and communicating effectively. Speaking of which, if you're loving this deep dive into the Springboks, make sure you hit that subscribe button for Rugby Obsession. We've got tons more insightful content like this coming your way. So for you, what's the biggest takeaway from this whole captaincy situation? What stands out to you the most?
I think the most impressive thing is how well Rassie and the coaching staff communicated everything. They spotted a potential issue, they adjusted the plan, and then they explained it all to Kitshoff in a way that made sense. That's crucial for building trust within a team.
Absolutely. Transparency and clear communication are so vital, especially in a high-pressure environment like professional rugby. It's not just about the decision itself, it's about how it's conveyed and how the players react. What do you think about all this? Does the reasoning for the captaincy change sit well with you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
And this whole thing also highlights the different ways someone can be a leader. Kitshoff might not have worn the captain's armband that day, but he still showed incredible leadership by putting the team first.
So true. It's all about that team-first mentality. Well, that was an amazing look at the Springboks. We got to see the human side, the strategic thinking, and the strong team culture that makes them so successful.
I agree. It's amazing how a small moment like this can tell us so much about a team's dynamics.
And remember, folks, for more in-depth rugby analysis and discussions, make sure you subscribe to the Rugby Obsession podcast.
We'll be back soon with another exciting deep dive into the world of rugby. Stay tuned.
Thanks for listening to the Rugby Obsession podcast. We can't wait to have you back for our next episode. Catch you then.